very quickly, have an engineering degree, MBA. I started out as an engineer. For some reason, just wasn't me. There was a lot of incongruency there. I got into sales. Once I got into sales, beautiful things began to happen. One day, president of a business unit. Now, ADC Telecommunications at the time was a $3 billion company. One of their biggest problems was they could not build Latin America. In 10 years of penetrating Latin America, the most they'd ever sold in annual revenues was only $14 million. So I get called in the office. He said, I'd like you to take a position. We want to make you the regional vice president of Latin America. I was like, wow. It said VP. Now, if you've had the title, that's kind of exciting. And if you've never had the title, it's exciting, right? So I know some of you are like, yes, I've had it, Victor, many years. So what? I got it. I got it. But when you get it for the first time, you're like, yeah, wow, VP, I'll do it. He says, well, what do you got to do? He says, well, here's what I want you to do, Victor. The group is now only 14.1 million. We've never sold more than 14.1 million. First mandate, don't screw it up by selling less. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you look at Latin America at an aggregate, the recession on average, their unemployment rate was 15%. If you look at the underemployment, it was literally about 25%. And I'm like, let me see if I get this right. You want me to build the region. It's only been doing 14.1 at most for the last 10 years. 15% unemployment, basically recession all the time. I also knew that the region was demoralized, didn't have the infrastructure, and I'm thinking, how are you going to help me? Then he told me those two words that to this day I still remember. He looked at me with a straight face and said, Victor, listen carefully. And these are the two words, man up. Now, just to be equal, if you're a woman, he would have said, well, man up. It doesn't matter. But he said, man up. I said, that was it. Apparently, this guy was not into Theory X command and control type of scenarios, right? Or Theory Y. This guy was at the extreme Theory Z. You figure it out. And so, sure enough, I started building the region. Now, let me give you the story. After 2.5 years, our annual revenues were $98 million. Within that 2.5-year time period, we sold over $162 million. Now, the biggest challenge I had going into the region, I could talk about all the strategic initiatives that we did, but I've heard some of your presentations. You've heard enough of strategic initiatives. What I want to focus on is I had to actually change the mindset of an organization. My whole team was demoralized. In my first year, I said, I want to sell 25 at least. What do you think they said to me? You're nuts. I knew I had a challenge, and the challenge was, how do you change an organization, a group, a business unit's mindset that for 10 years has been stuck in a rut? So I dug deep, and I came up with what I call my philosophy for leadership. 10 reasons why you can still sell in a bad economy.